I'll move to a main talking point this morning. Buhari flays nationwide ethnic violence, vows to protect all groups. And of course, there's outrage as bandits kill 121 in Kaduna in 44 days. That's more than a month.
Yeah, a little very born. That's Kaduna for you, Diego. Kaduna is unravels all the time when it comes to matter of security. And of the northwestern states, 7 of them, Kaduna appears to be the ground zero for this bandit violence. Of course, Zamfara has its problem. The states that have border communities have their problems, like Katsina, but Kaduna remains in the news all the time for this kind of killings, not just bandit killings as well. Sometimes ethnic violence. It behoves on the governor of Kaduna to be able to nip this in the bud, to find solutions to this problem using the federal authorities. That was what I was saying yesterday, that every time there's a crisis in Kaduna, we blame Governor Erufai. With what we saw, yesterday, I think we should begin to ask questions of Governor Makinde as well. As chief executive of the state, what is it doing to prevent Sasha market? It was an unfortunate incident, really, and sometimes you think that things like this shouldn't happen. It was a small incident between a cobbler and a wheelbarrow pusher that ended up in the death of almost 20 people. The whole market raised down, and then people as IDPs, in their own abode where they live, because they had to differentiate between who are Hausas and who are Yorubas in Ibadan these days. Because in the Hausa traders speak better Yorubas than Yoruba. Yeah, we have seen this happen, and the question now is, what drives people to become very violent against people they live with? These ethnic tensions have been there, since this herdsmen issue started, and it's been a long time, Diego, that I've been talking in this country about the need to really change from this narrative about cattle. It's been for 6 years now since Buhari came to power. It's been this cattle issue. Nigeria is in the 21st century. Certainly, I think there are more important things to do more than discuss cattle every time. We're talking here about. There's been no discussion on development, no discussion on education, no discussion on technology that is moving the world faster than we know. It's cattle. We need to find the political will, if we need it, to be able to move away from this kind of crisis. 6 years now, the ethno-religious tensions are there. People they hate each other. People don't want to live with each other. And in the last 3 months, we have seen it rear its head in the south. People here down south will tell you that we have been patient enough. It's more than 6 years that these headers have brought their cattle to our part of town, destroyed our farms, attacked our people, that have become criminals and robbers, and even kidnappers on our land. It's time to say no. Which is, of course, a fair argument. And the northerners there stay up in the north and say, it's not true, it's not all Fulani that are criminal. Find the criminal and deal with them. The political leaders just make political comments most times. There's no real political will to try to resolve this crisis. And it's rearing its ugly head across the country. Now people are dying, now we can see the tensions. After the Sasha violence over this weekend, what was seen, is that the North remembers, those kind of rhetoric, that no country, especially a diverse country like Nigeria, always sit here and say, the buck stops at the president table to protect the diversity of this country, even if the one job he has to do. We don't need all of this. We don't. Yesterday, I saw the president issue a statement to say, of course, to reinforce the fact that we must try and live as one, and that his government will protect everybody, minority, majority, and that whoever is responsible for this violence will be brought to book. Yeah, good statement, but push it forward, show action. I like the fact that the Office of the National Security Advisor, Babagana Mongono, issued a statement over the weekend to say that he will be leading personally a federal government delegation of heads of security and law enforcement agencies, traditional rulers, and religious leaders, CSOs, NGOs, youth organizations, women organizations, the legislature, and the governors on a tour of the 6 political zones to have town hall meetings on security. In fact, the statement said the first one will begin today in Kaduna, with the 7 northwestern governors attending, to start to talk about this issue. I think that is the practical approach to trying to resolve this problem. Let people come to a town hall and say, my farms were destroyed, nothing happened. And let the cattle farmers also say, this has happened to me, and let's find a way to resolve them. you know, and not all the time anything like this happen, the governors go there and offer palliatives. I think beyond offering palliatives, like Governor Makinde said just when I arrived, the palliatives. Beyond palliatives, there's a big hurt in the heart of the people affected. Not just the Southerners, even the Northerners. You know, and there must be some kind of political way to try to calm that down. Otherwise, otherwise you paper over the cracks. It will happen again. Because as we teach here today, we don't know what will happen. The Northern Governors Forum and the Northern Elders Forum, which likes to sometimes sort of de-escalate the tension, escalate it. They are meeting today. You know, we don't know what position they will take, because a statement by the Northern Elders Forum over the weekend, over the Sasha killings, was moderate. They talked about living together and they don't want to see what is happening in Sasha repeat itself. I think that was moderate. But again, we have known them for trying to push an agenda that does not favor anybody. And it's not only the Northern Elders Forum. Down here in the South too, we have organizations like that, you know, that like to want to stoke the fires. You know, so I think that everybody must calm down. Now we have a country to protect, you know, and nobody wants to see a civil war. We might not have experienced civil war, but we have heard stories, and no, everybody will tell you that you're just laughing if you think a war is a good thing. It's never a good thing. Everybody will be affected, and what's affected will be some of us who, you know, do not have the means to be able to run away from this country. Some of those who cause this violence, before they know it, they will have escaped to another country. Somebody wrote on Twitter yesterday and said, if violence breaks out in Nigeria today, Sunday Igboho will disappear overnight and meet his family in Germany. His entire family lives in Germany. You know, maybe my grandmother still lives in Umaja. So, I mean, everybody is home here. So if it happens that there's violence, we all suffer. You know, so that is what people think when they say no to the kind of ethnic strife we're seeing in this country today. It should not escalate further than this. And it builds on the political leaders to try to resolve this. And especially, President Buhari must take leadership. Again, it's not only me that's calling for him to do that. Everybody is. Governor Matawale of Zamfara said this yesterday. Governor Tambuwal of Sokoto also said it yesterday. Another Elders Forum, Afeni Ferry, PANDEF, the OPC, everybody is saying, President, take leadership. It's not enough to send the National Security Advisor. You know, let's see you in front. Let's see you call people together, discuss these issues, and try to de-escalate the tension. You know, because it's been 6 years of President Buhari administration, and it has been cattle.